going to be talking about electric car charging because I fear there's a lot of misinformation out there about what an electric car is actually going to cost you, and I don't know that a lot of people actually knows that it's not as expensive as you fear it might be. What it actually costs versus what you're told can be two entirely different things. There's a Venn diagram that's not overlapping, and we're gonna get in that little overlap and tell you actually the truth and where that fits in with what you might already know. So the reality of the situation is that where you charge is actually more important than the car you drive. So home charging is going to be your cheapest option. It's about 19p per kilowatt hour. That's going to fluctuate depending on your energy provider, and some will provide overnight tariffs that make it even cheaper than that. Public charging can be double the home rate, and then rapid charging, which is where you get to your 100 kilowatt chargers, your 250 kilowatt chargers, so a lot of the Tesla superchargers and things like that, they are going to be charging you a pretty penny for the convenience. But again, they are very convenient if you're going on a long journey. But in terms of the cost of charging to a cost of a tank of petrol or diesel, we'll find out. It's a little comparison for you. Tesla Model S, 100 kilowatt hour battery. If, say, it is 19p for 100 kilowatts of charge, so it's a full charge at home overnight, that's going to cost you £19, change from a £20 note. But if that Tesla Model S happened to be a petrol car with a 40 litre tank, if that petrol costs you £1.80 per litre, that's £72 for a full tank. Even that's a little bit expensive, granted, compared to current prices, but even if you're looking at £1.50 for a 40 litre tank, that's still going to cost you more than the full charge at home. But that is the catch. This really cheap rate of charge is if you can charge at home. But the reality is, charging at home, 60% cheaper per mile. That's a hefty saving. But what is it going to cost you if you're out and about? Here's what you'll actually pay. On a typical EV with a 60 kilowatt hour battery, which is about average for the bigger cars with a 200 mile range, again, about average, you're going to get about 180 miles real world there. Lovely. If you're charging at home, you're looking at £13 for a full car. If you're in public, we're looking at about £26. On a rapid charge, with 30 minutes, you've stopped off at a petrol station for a coffee and a cake. You just want to charge for 30 minutes so you can get on again. £19 for 90 miles of range, which is not bad. Comparatively, per 100 miles, £7.70 for electric versus £12 petrol. There's a saving to be made there. But as we said, the catch is the cheapest rates are going to be if you have home charging. Can you actually have home charging? You'll need off-street parking or a dedicated space. If you're renting, you'll want your landlord's permission, and you'll also need electrical capacity for that installation. And the installation alone, it's another cost to add on up front. The reality check, again, we love a little reality check. 40% of UK households at the moment, as things stand, don't have off-street parking, aka the pavement tax. So it might mean that you can go electric, but you're not going to be able to charge your car at home. But if you can charge your car at home, these are some of the most cost-effective EVs to run. Don't say that we don't treat you. Hyundai. The Hyundai Ioniq, £3.75 per 100 miles. Tesla Model 3, just the standard, £3.78 per 100 miles. And the Tesla Model 3 long range, if you need a little extra to get you where you need to be, £3.85 per 100 miles. Again, this assumes home charging rates, and this is on just a representative fee. It might cost you a little bit more, it might cost you a little bit less. Shop around for the best tariffs. Want to save some cash? Here's how. Charge your car off peak. So you can use apps like OptiWatt to find the best times to charge your car, and overnight is always going to be better than charging during the day when every man and his dog is running the tumble dryer and the washing machine and the kettle again and the kettle again, because you need at least 3 cups of coffee before midday. It's going to be cheaper to go overnight. Plan your routes. You want to use apps like ZapMap to find different chargers around you, get to know the cheap ones, and consider your lifestyle. On average, how many miles do you do a week? If you've got a car with a 280 mile range and you do about 200 miles a week, you're only going to have to charge that once a week, and that's cost effective. Obviously, we're a leasing broker. This is why leasing is going to make sense if you're looking to switch to electric. Take the Peugeot 2008. It's a combustion engine car. It, at the moment, as things stand, it'll cost you about £211 a month at leasing. Or the Peugeot E2008, the E stands for electric. It's an electric car. It's a little bit more expensive at £235 a month. The difference is about the cost of a takeaway, £23. I mean, that's a cheap takeaway, to be fair. You could probably still get a takeaway and still save money, but you will get lower running costs over the lease term, and that's music to our ears. So should you go electric? It's really up to you. It depends on your preferences, your situation. If you've got home charging, you don't travel very far, and you want to lease a car, electric makes a lot of sense now. But if you're not quite there yet, have a look at a hybrid. Do a plug-in hybrid. It'll give you a little taster of the electric life with the backup of the combustion engine. And we just really like electric cars, actually. We've driven some really cool electric cars. So if you ask us, we'd say yes.